Every single day, nearly 70 million people walk into a McDonald's somewhere in the world. They order Big Macs, fries, chicken nuggets, and coffee, often without giving a second thought to the company behind the famous golden arches. From busy city centers to small roadside towns, McDonald's has become one of the most recognizable brands on earth. With tens of thousands of restaurants spread across more than 100 countries, it's easy to assume the company's incredible wealth comes from doing one thing better than anyone else: selling fast food. But what if that's not the real story? What if the burgers, fries, and Happy Meals are only part of the picture? Because hidden behind every McDonald's restaurant is a business strategy so powerful that it transformed a single hamburger stand into one of the most valuable companies in the world. In fact, some of the world's most successful investors don't think of McDonald's as a fast food company at all. They see it as something entirely different: a real estate empire. At first, that sounds absurd. After all, customers don't line up outside McDonald's to buy land. They come for a quick meal, a coffee on the way to work, or a late-night snack. So how could a company famous for hamburgers quietly build one of the most successful real estate businesses in history? The answer begins with a decision that most people never notice, a decision that completely changed the future of McDonald's and the way modern franchising works. It wasn't the invention of a new burger. It wasn't a revolutionary recipe. And it certainly wasn't an advertising campaign. It was a business model, one that generated billions of dollars, reshaped the fast food industry, and turned every new restaurant into something far more valuable than a place to sell burgers. So, how did McDonald's really make billions? To answer that question, we have to travel back to Southern California, where two brothers unknowingly laid the foundation for one of the greatest business empires the world has ever seen. Southern California in the late 1940s was a place of opportunity. The Second World War had ended, America's economy was booming, and car ownership was transforming the way people lived. Families were traveling farther than ever before, and roadside restaurants were appearing across the country to serve a growing generation on the move. Among those restaurants was a small drive-in owned by two brothers, Richard and Maurice McDonald. Like many restaurants of the time, their business looked successful on the surface. Customers pulled into the parking lot, placed their orders through car hops, and waited while food was prepared in the kitchen. But behind the scenes, the operation was slow, expensive, and often chaotic. The brothers began asking themselves a question that most restaurant owners never considered. What if fast food could actually be fast? Instead of accepting the way every restaurant operated, they decided to rethink the entire system from the ground up. In 1948, they made a decision that shocked many of their customers. They temporarily closed their restaurant, not because they were struggling, not because they were going out of business, but because they wanted to redesign everything. When the restaurant reopened, almost nothing was the same. The large menu filled with dozens of items had disappeared. In its place was a much smaller selection, focused on hamburgers, cheeseburgers, fries, soft drinks, milkshakes, and a few other products. Car hops were gone. Customers now walked directly to a service window, placing their orders themselves. Behind the counter, every employee had one clearly defined role. One grilled the burgers, another toasted the buns, someone else wrapped the food. Every movement was carefully planned to eliminate wasted time, almost like workers on an automobile assembly line. The brothers called it the Speedee Service System. It was simple, efficient, and unlike anything the restaurant industry had ever seen. Meals that once took several minutes could now be prepared in seconds. Costs dropped, quality became more consistent, and customers loved the speed. Word began spreading. People traveled from nearby towns just to see this unusual little hamburger stand that seemed to operate with military precision. What Richard and Maurice McDonald had created wasn't just a better restaurant. Without realizing it, they had built a business system that could be repeated almost anywhere. There was only one problem. The brothers were perfectly happy staying small, but before long, someone else would walk through their doors and see something far bigger than they ever imagined. His name was Ray Kroc. While Richard and Maurice McDonald were satisfied running a single successful restaurant hundreds of miles away, another businessman was fighting a very different battle. His name was Ray Kroc. By the early 1950s, Kroc was already in his 50s. He had spent most of his career chasing one opportunity after another, working as a paper cup salesman, a pianist, and eventually selling milkshake machines known as the multi-mixer. The machine could prepare 5 milkshakes at the same time, making it ideal for busy restaurants. Business was steady, but nothing extraordinary. Most restaurants ordered one machine. Some larger locations ordered 2. So when one small restaurant in San Bernardino, California, placed an order for 8 multi-mixers, Kroc couldn't believe it. 8 machines meant the restaurant had the capacity to make 40 milkshakes at once. He kept asking himself the same question: what kind of restaurant needs 8 milkshake machines? Curious, he decided to see it for himself. When Ray Kroc arrived in San Bernardino in 1954, he expected to find a large, bustling restaurant with dozens of employees struggling to keep up with demand. Instead, what he found looked surprisingly ordinary. There was no luxurious dining room, no waitresses rushing between tables, no complicated menu stretching across the wall, just a modest hamburger stand with customers lining up outside. But within minutes, Kroc realized he wasn't looking at an ordinary restaurant. He watched as customers placed their orders, received fresh food in moments, and walked away smiling. Behind the counter, every employee moved with remarkable precision. Burgers were grilled, buns toasted, fries cooked, and drinks poured in a carefully choreographed rhythm that almost looked like a factory assembly line. There was no confusion, no wasted movement, no unnecessary delay. The system was so efficient that it could serve hundreds of customers with a speed few competitors could match. For most visitors, it was simply a well-run restaurant. For Ray Kroc, it was something much bigger. He wasn't just seeing a successful hamburger stand. He was seeing a business model that could be replicated across the entire country. At that moment, Kroc became convinced that there shouldn't be one McDonald's restaurant. There should be hundreds, then thousands. The McDonald brothers had built an extraordinary machine. Ray Kroc was about to ask a question that would change both of their lives forever. What if we franchised it? Ray Kroc wasted no time. After seeing the McDonald brothers' revolutionary system in action, he was convinced it could transform the American restaurant industry. Restaurants were opening across the country, but very few delivered food with the same speed, consistency, and efficiency that he had witnessed in San Bernardino. Kroc approached Richard and Maurice with an ambitious proposal. He wanted to franchise McDonald's on a national scale. The brothers had experimented with franchising before, but the results had been disappointing. Some franchise owners ignored their standards, others cut corners, and maintaining quality from one location to another proved far more difficult than they had expected. Because of those experiences, they had little interest in expanding aggressively. Kroc, however, saw things differently. He believed the problem wasn't franchising itself, it was the way it had been managed. Unlike the brothers, Kroc was willing to dedicate all of his time and energy to building a nationwide network of restaurants. His vision was simple but bold. Every McDonald's, no matter where it was located, should deliver the same food, the same service, and the same customer experience. In 1955, the two sides reached an agreement. Ray Kroc founded McDonald's System, Inc., the company that would later become McDonald's Corporation, and opened his first franchised McDonald's restaurant in Des Plaines, Illinois. From the outside, everything appeared to be falling into place. New restaurants began opening. Customers loved the fast service. The McDonald's name started spreading across America. But behind the scenes, Kroc was facing a problem that threatened his dream. Despite the growing number of restaurants, he wasn't making much money. The fees collected from franchise owners were small, and after paying the McDonald brothers their share, there was very little left to reinvest in expansion. Every new restaurant required more support, more inspections, more training, and more staff, yet the business wasn't generating the kind of profits Kroc had imagined. He had built a company that was growing rapidly, but growth alone wasn't making him rich. For a while, it looked as though the entire expansion plan might stall before it had truly begun. Then, just as Kroc was searching for a way forward, one man offered an idea that would completely change the future of McDonald's. It wasn't a chef. It wasn't a marketing expert. And it had nothing to do with making a better hamburger. It was a financial strategy so powerful that it would turn every new McDonald's restaurant into an asset, one that could generate wealth long after the last burger of the day had been sold. That man was Harry Sonneborn. As Ray Kroc searched for a way to keep McDonald's growing, one problem refused to go away. The restaurants were becoming more popular. New franchisees wanted to join. Customers kept coming through the doors. Yet despite all that success, the company's profits remained surprisingly thin. The franchise fees simply weren't enough. Every new location demanded more training, more inspections, and more support, while much of the income flowed back to the McDonald brothers under their agreement. Kroc had built a business that looked incredibly successful from the outside, but behind the scenes, it was running on a financial model that couldn't sustain the kind of expansion he envisioned. He needed a completely different approach. That's when financial advisor Harry Sonneborn entered the picture. Sonneborn looked at McDonald's and saw something that almost everyone else had overlooked. He wasn't focused on the burgers. He wasn't thinking about fries. And he wasn't interested in milkshakes. Instead, he asked a completely different question. Who owns the land beneath every McDonald's restaurant? That single question changed everything. Sonneborn proposed a strategy that was brilliantly simple. Instead of allowing franchise owners to find and purchase their own locations, McDonald's would buy the land itself or secure a long-term lease on prime commercial property. The company would then lease that land and the building back to the franchise owner. From that moment on, every new restaurant generated multiple streams of income. The franchise owner paid an initial franchise fee. They paid ongoing royalties based on sales. And on top of that, they paid rent to McDonald's for the property they operated on. Suddenly, McDonald's wasn't just earning money every time someone ordered a Big Mac. It was earning money every single month simply because it owned, or controlled, the location where the business operated. Think of it this way. Imagine you own an apartment building. Every month, your tenants pay rent whether they have a great month or a slow one. Now imagine each tenant also pays you a percentage of the money their business earns. That's essentially the model McDonald's created. The restaurant sells the food. The franchise owner runs the day-to-day operations. But McDonald's owns one of the most valuable assets in the entire equation, the real estate. As more restaurants opened, the strategy became even more powerful. Each new location wasn't just another fast food outlet. It was another valuable property added to an expanding portfolio. Over the decades, that portfolio grew into thousands of locations across some of the busiest streets, highways, shopping centers, and commercial districts in the world. The burgers attracted customers. The restaurants built the brand. But the real estate created long-term wealth. It was a strategy that provided steady cash flow, reduced financial risk, and gave McDonald's an extraordinary level of control over its franchise network. By changing what the company owned, not just what it sold, Ray Kroc and Harry Sonneborn transformed McDonald's from a successful restaurant chain into one of the most powerful business empires in history. And remarkably, That same strategy continues to generate billions of dollars today. But owning the land was only part of the story. To understand why McDonald's remains one of the most profitable companies on earth, we need to look at how this business model still works in the modern era, and why every new restaurant continues to strengthen the empire that began with a single hamburger stand. More than half a century after Harry Sonneborn introduced his real estate strategy, the formula that transformed McDonald's continues to power the company today. Every time a new McDonald's restaurant opens, the process follows a carefully designed system. An entrepreneur invests millions of dollars to build and operate the restaurant. They hire employees, manage daily operations, maintain food quality, and serve customers. At first glance, it might seem like they're simply running their own business. But behind the scenes, McDonald's remains at the center of everything. In many cases, the company owns the land beneath the restaurant or controls it through a long-term lease. The franchise owner then pays rent to McDonald's for the right to operate at that location. On top of the rent, they also pay ongoing royalties based on a percentage of their sales. That means when business is booming, McDonald's earns more through royalties. And even during slower periods, rental income continues to provide a steady stream of revenue. It's a model that gives the company both stability and growth. This approach also allows McDonald's to expand without taking on the enormous cost of operating every restaurant itself. Instead of managing the day-to-day challenges of tens of thousands of locations, the company relies on local franchise owners who have a direct incentive to make their restaurants successful. While franchisees focus on serving customers, McDonald's focuses on protecting the brand, improving operations, selecting high-value locations, and investing in the technology that keeps the entire system running efficiently. Today, the company operates in more than 100 countries, with tens of thousands of restaurants serving millions of customers every single day. To most people, those restaurants represent burgers, fries, and milkshakes. But to McDonald's, each location is something much bigger. It's a long-term business asset, one that generates rent, royalties, and strengthens one of the largest restaurant networks ever built. That's why McDonald's has remained one of the world's most profitable companies for decades. Not because it sells the most burgers, but because it built a system where every successful restaurant adds value to an empire designed to grow stronger over time. Still, no business stays on top forever. Changing consumer habits, rising competition, and new technology are forcing even giants like McDonald's to evolve. The question is no longer how McDonald's became a business empire. It's whether that empire can continue thriving in a rapidly changing world. For decades, McDonald's perfected one of the most successful business models ever created. But no company, no matter how dominant, can afford to stand still. The fast food industry is more competitive today than at any other point in its history. Customers have more choices than ever before. From Burger King and Wendy's to Chick-fil-A and a growing number of fast casual restaurants, competition is no longer just about who serves the best burger. It's about speed, convenience, quality, and customer experience. Consumer habits have changed as well. Many people are paying closer attention to nutrition, healthier ingredients, and where their food comes from. Others expect meals to arrive at their doorstep with just a few taps on a smartphone. The traditional drive-thru is no longer the only way people interact with the brand. Rather than resisting these changes, McDonald's has spent billions adapting to them. Walk into a modern McDonald's today, and you'll likely find self-service kiosks replacing traditional ordering lines, mobile apps offering personalized rewards, and delivery partnerships bringing meals directly to customers without them ever entering the restaurant. Behind the scenes, the company is investing heavily in artificial intelligence and advanced data analytics to improve everything from drive-thru efficiency to inventory management and customer recommendations. But despite all these technological advances, the foundation of the business remains remarkably familiar. The restaurants continue serving millions of customers every day. The franchise model continues expanding into new markets. And the real estate strategy that transformed McDonald's decades ago continues generating long-term value around the world. Technology may change, customer preferences may evolve, but the core business model has proven resilient because it was built to adapt. That ability to evolve, without abandoning the strategy that made it successful, is one of the biggest reasons McDonald's continues to thrive, while countless competitors have disappeared. And perhaps that's the most valuable lesson hidden behind the golden arches. When most people think about McDonald's, they think about burgers, fries, and the famous golden arches. But after looking behind the scenes, it's clear that the company's greatest success was never just the food. It was the business model. Richard and Maurice McDonald revolutionized how fast food was prepared, creating a system that made restaurants faster, simpler, and more efficient than ever before. Ray Kroc saw something even bigger. He recognized that the system could be repeated across the country, and eventually across the world. Then Harry Sonneborn introduced the idea that changed everything. Don't just build restaurants, control the land beneath them. That single decision transformed McDonald's from a successful restaurant chain into one of the most valuable business empires in history. Today, every new McDonald's restaurant isn't just another place serving meals. It's another piece of a carefully designed system where branding, franchising, real estate, and operations work together to create long-term value. Perhaps that's the biggest lesson this story teaches. The world's greatest businesses don't always win because they make the best product. They win because they build the best system. McDonald's doesn't make billions simply because millions of people buy burgers every day. It makes billions because decades ago, its leaders stopped thinking like restaurant owners and started thinking like long-term business builders. The next time you drive past a McDonald's, look beyond the menu. Look beyond the drive-thru. Look beyond the golden arches. Because you're not just looking at one of the world's largest fast food chains. You're looking at one of the most successful business models ever created. And maybe that's the biggest secret of all. Sometimes, the most valuable thing a company sells isn't what you came there to buy.